What's up, everybody, and welcome to the live stream. If you are new to the channel, I'm Jesse Showalter, and I am so glad that you're here. We got people jumping in from all over the place in the live chat. You got Dodo Television, an amazing comic, Gal Mai, Abe, people coming from YouTube, from Behance, from Twitch, and from Facebook as well. We're streaming all over the place. Thanks so much for being here and part of the stream. Today is portfolio reviews, work reviews, and question and answer time. Tell me where you're coming from, because Jalaluddin is coming from Uzbekistan. Where are you coming from on this fine Friday? Maybe it's not Friday for you. Maybe somewhere in the world the time is so far forward or behind that it's still Thursday, or maybe it's Saturday. But tell me where you're coming from, because we got Abernell's coming from India. Manuel is coming from Belize. We have more people coming from India. What's up? What's up? Hey, throw me your favorite little emoji there in the chat as well. Mine's the little praise hands. That's my favorite right there. But we got Lamb coming from Vietnam as well. And all right, really excited that you guys are here joining me for the live stream. Macedonia, all right. Hey, just a quick note, if you want to get your work reviewed, you're gonna have to join the free Discord server called the Hey Creative Discord server. I have something like 400 or 500 members inside the server now. I got something like 50 or 60 members of the Design Champions or Creative Insider Club of my own personal membership inside of there. So join the Hey Creative Discord server. You're really going to love it, and post your work inside of portfolio reviews here or project reviews. That's where I'm going to be pulling work from today. For instance, we got Russ, who's one of my design champions. What's up? If you don't know what my design champions are, let's talk really quickly about membership. If you're interested, I have my own members club where members get access to behind the scenes like videos, early release of my videos, as well as their own private Patreon like feed. We do live video hangouts each month and a bunch of other stuff. So you can check that out over at Jesse Showalter or learn.jesseshowalter.com/members. That's where you get all the information about it right there. But we do have a bunch of them joining us in our live stream today. What's up? And our first portfolio review is going to be from one of my design champs. That's Russ. And he actually did this really cool thing. He actually went over to a website called Sharpen.design, which I'd never heard of, but I'm really excited about, because I've been looking for something like this. It's a way for you to generate design challenge ideas, right? So if you're like, I really want to design something, but I don't know what to design, right? It's a really great place to go to Sharpen.design. You can choose, is it a branding project? Is it a marketing project? Is it a product or UX project? And you can say, hey, give me a new challenge. When you do that, it generates it. It says, hey, how about design an IoT interface for a sunglasses brand, right? Maybe you want something more brand specific. Let's click brand, new challenge. A set of stickers for Starbucks. Let's try product and UX. How about a sign up form for a German orchard? And maybe you don't like German orchard. You could just lock the one that you do like. For instance, right here, you could lock your sign up form, and then you can just keep generating and saying, hey, how about a sign up form for a medical startup, and use lots of green, right? So it gives you all sorts of different options here. I think this is really cool. And this is what he used to create his design challenge. He got design a login page for Marvel Studios, which is pretty cool. And he posted a link inside the Hey Creative Discord server that you should be a part of, that you should absolutely be a part of. You'll really enjoy it. Lots of fun stuff happening there. But he posted it there, and let's open it up. He's got a Figma file going on here, a little bit of an asset screen, and he's got the initial design here in Figma. Look, Russ Perry in the house. Russ, we're hunting you. We're there. All right. So he's got, cool imagery. Again, it was a login screen for Marvel Studios. Okay. All right. Well, here's what I would say. So far so good. I'm really digging it. Really digging it. All right. He's got the different states, which, hey, listen, if you're going to be a UI or UX designer, you do have to think about all the different states that are involved there. So good on Russ for making sure that he not only did one static screen, right? But he's also going, hey, what is the sign in button look like? What does active input fields look like, right? And he's doing mobile, mobile also. So Russ is kind of crushing the game as far as knowing what's required here. Let's talk specifically about the design and we will get into it a little bit more, all right? All right, here's what I like about it. Imagery, rocking. It's what you would expect, right, from like a Marvel login screen. And keep all this in mind. Russ might not be done with his design. His cursor is in the file. He's probably still working on it, right? So we're not going to judge. We're just going to give some constructive feedback, some criticism that might help him, all right? Okay, yeah. I mean, you want some like really awesome big imagery inside of your Marvel Studios login page for sure. And I like that imagery. I'm not the biggest fan of this gray kind of gradient, right? I think maybe it might be a little bit distracting. I get that. I think what you're after is probably some dimensionality, right? You want like the Marvel characters kind of pop off the page. I would think about some other ways to do that. And maybe there's some ambient objects you might float in there. What I'd really love to see is almost like, not really like parallax, maybe if you can do some parallax animation in there, that might be cool. But what I kind of really want to see is maybe some background of like a city, like a cityscape, right? Like New York, like Attack of the Shatari, like in alien invasion in New York. I want to see a little bit of that, maybe like faded out in the background. You could do some cool, like take this into After Effects and do some cool animated smoke. And so the characters kind of fly out each piece by piece. That could be really cool. So find like, go to like Envato Elements or something and get some cool like animated transparent smoke. Smack this thing over into After Effects, cut out each individual character and have the smoke come out. You have the background of the city, like really light and transparent there. Like each character kind of moves out in time and the smoke is kind of moving. Ooh, that's what I'm seeing right there. Okay. So I like that idea for the imagery. I like that you did exactly what I think you probably should do here, which is Marvel Studios icon is red, or their logo is red. Your sign in should probably be red. Honestly, good on you. The thing that my eye jumps to here the most is the sign in button. Even though, right, the imagery is big. Yes, your eye is kind of drawn to the imagery over there. How can it not? It's the Hulk and Hawkeye and Captain America and Iron Man and what's her name? Black Widow. Super cool. But like, I know that sign in is still the most important thing here on this page, which I think is really, really good. Let's talk a little bit more about the actual interface of the sign in. I think that you have a contrast issue, right? And it's because of this. It's because of this gray background that the right sides of your input fields, they're kind of dingy, right? And they're kind of fading into the background. You want them to pop, you want them to punch. So I might think of a new treatment for your input field, okay? And maybe that's lightening them up all the way, maybe a border on them, a little bit of a drop shadow, really, really light. That could work. Love the fact that you're doing the Captain America helmet in there for username. Iconography inside there, always good. Here's what I would say. A little bit of critique on the input field. This is just standard practice for UI designers when we're thinking about form fields and inputs, okay? You want your, I got like everything kind of left aligned here. Your button should probably be left aligned as well. If that means your button spreads out more, it can. Also, the text inside this button is really big, right? And the button itself is really small. So I might maybe drop the size of the text, increase the size of the button, the padding inside the button. That might help you a little bit. Yep. Also, you got to think about labels here, okay? So for instance, you always want to have labels. I know like the trendy thing is to not have labels, but I still am a firm believer that every form field or input field should have labels. So username could be up above here, keep it really consistent. Maybe it could do that cool fancy thing where the label is actually kind of bridging the gap here. Or maybe your label is here, and when you click on it, it moves up so that the placeholder text and the input for the user can start to be placed inside of there. So a couple things there, like that's a couple of recommendations, but I think overall it's looking really, really good. Oh, there's Thor. Why was he not up here? Okay, I love Thor. But again, great job by placing in all the different states, your active state. See how your active state punches? It pops a little bit more. I think it's that border. It's the treatment of it. So I think you might want to work a little bit more on that gradient and then the standard treatment of your default input fields, okay? That's a big one for you. But I think this is great work. I just think it needs to visually, I I think you just need to finesse it. It just needs a little massaging visually. But I think really well done by Russ. Great work. You know why Russ is doing so great? Because he's one of my design champions. Because that's champion level work. Maybe you want to become a champion. Links down in the description. You can check it out. Become a champion just like Russ. All right. Thank you, Russ, for doing that. And hey, I just want to tell you, I'm really, really excited because inside of the Hey Creative Discord server, I am inspired by this Sharpen.design thing, right? And the design challenges. I think we all should be honing our skills. So I'm going to, at the end of this stream, watch it, I hit my microphone. At the end of this stream, I'm going to be spinning up a product or UI UX design challenge. And then I'm going to be launching my own design challenge inside of the Hey Creative Discord server, right? So I'm going to be presenting it here, and then I'll post this in the Discord server, and you will have access to a challenge that we will all be able to post about, which will be really, really fun, okay? I'll do that at the end of the stream today. Let's go into the Discord server and see what else people have posted. All right, here is Navalos, who's also one of my design champions. Ooh, people are talking about that thing. Let's go. Ooh, Hamza. All right, Hamza, we're going to open your work up. Excited about that. Who else is in here? Abernail is in there. Let's see. How about portfolio reviews? We'll be doing a little bit on that as well. And if we don't have enough inside of here, then we will we'll probably start just looking through Behance and Dribbble and checking things out. But join the Discord server. That way we can get your work featured here on the channel. Hey, before we go any further with portfolio reviews and work reviews, let's take a few questions. All right, we got some questions that are running inside of the chat. Let's see. Adam, who's one of my newest champions, one of my newest design champs, asked, when will the live video hangout for champions be? Is it on Sunday? It's usually always on Fridays, and it follows a live stream. I do one a month, but there has been such an influx, and I already did one for this month. There's been such an influx for in the design champions. I think we got like 6, 7, 8 new design champions in the last week. I think we need to do another one. We got to do another one really like ASAP. So we might do the next one like the next Friday, right? We'll do it next Friday. That's what I think. And then we'll set a new rule. We'll do it like this first Friday of every month from now on. I think is probably going to be the way to go. So we're going to be doing it next week to answer your question, Adam. That's a great question. All right. Okay, got another question. This one is from Abernail. He says, which is the best video editing software? Oh, we're going to talk about video editing software right now. That's exciting. Well, I am not by any means an expert in video production. I have a YouTube channel. I edit my own videos still quite a bit. I use Adobe Premiere Pro for my video editing software. I know that Final Cut Pro, also fantastic option. I've also used DaVinci Resolve. I've used all three of them. I think that they are great. Here's the great news is if you don't have the Adobe CC subscription, you use something like Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro works phenomenal on the Mac. It's a Mac only software. If you don't have a Mac or the Adobe, you can do DaVinci Resolve, which is free and on every platform. And it's a rockin' video editing software. Like, come on, seriously? How is that software free? Anyways, so, those are the three that I would suggest depending on your situation. And I think that's a great question. So definitely, a little bit of video editing, like it goes a long way. I'll say that. So find the software that fits your needs. All right. Here's another question from Jalaluddin. I have more than 1 year of experience in UX and UI design and would like to take orders from abroad. For example, from USA, what should I pay attention to when I receive an order? When you say order, do you mean client, right? You're looking for international clients as a UI and UX designer. Just confirm with me that you mean clients, all right? And then we'll answer that question a little bit more, okay? Let's see if there's any other questions in our chat. No other questions so far. Okay, Salah says, what do you suggest as a good platform to get clients as a freelance graphic designer? All right, so the question is, what platforms are there out there to get good clients? All right, okay, obviously, if you're trying to find clients as a freelancer, your first thought is probably to go Fiverr, Freelancer, Guru, all of those freelancing sites. And that's not a bad idea. That's a place, if you're just starting out, that you can cut your teeth on those freelancing sites. The problem is that because they're free to enter, the barrier of entry is free. Set up an account. What's really required out of you is that you need to grind and create a lot of momentum for yourself. So if you're just starting out, your first month or few months or 6 months on Fiverr is not going to be very successful. It's not going to be very high paying. It might not be what you want. But I do know some people who have stuck with it. I actually just hired somebody off of Fiverr, and they were like one of the premium recommendations, and they did really, really good work for me for something that I asked them for. But they've been on there consistently. That's their thing. That's their jam. So if you're going to do that, you got to stay the course. It's the long tail end game for you. Okay. Funny pun. Avengers Endgame. We just looked at an Avengers site. Anyways. I think another great step would be, right, something like Behance has a job board and there's a lot of freelance work on it. Dribbble also has a job board, and it's worth it, in my opinion, to have a Dribbble Pro account, because then you can look at the pro freelancing job board, and you'll get a lot more vetted job offers there, or client or project offers there. So I think a Dribbble Pro account is something like 10 or 20 bucks a month. I know it's like, oh, that's a lot, but that's an investment. And again, you land a client for 500 bucks, 1,000 bucks, 10,000 bucks, like that pays it back pretty quickly, doesn't it? So I would highly recommend the Dribbble Pro account. I think that that is a great opportunity. Also, depending on what tools you use, a lot of times certain tools have communities that are kind of built around them, right? So for instance, I use, this is not a sponsored like ad or anything. I use Honeybook for all of my freelance and project like tracking of all projects and billing and invoicing and contracts. They have a little built-in community where you can outsource things to people, find jobs. So a lot of times tools that you use have their own little like communities of finding work and projects and clients. So that's a long answer for that, but yeah, absolutely, 100%. Okay, let's see, Jalaluddin. I'm going to answer Jalaluddin's question as if it was clients, because I think that's what he means. So again, his question is, he has more than 1 year of experience as a UI UX designer, and he wants to start finding clients abroad. What should you pay attention to when you receive an order? Well, I think as an international vendor, right, or designer, you're a service provider, communication is always really key. Okay. So when you're working abroad, when I work with international clients, there could be a communication breakdown just because of the language barrier, the culture barrier. And so it's about informing yourself on any cultural differences, and it's about doing your best to communicate in a way in which they'll understand. And so communication always has to be really on point when you're doing freelance work, especially when you're doing remote freelance work. It has to be really on point. You have to over communicate the process, the check-ins, the milestones, payments, expectations. But now, because you are remote, and maybe there's a culture barrier or a language barrier, you're going to have to communicate even more so. Okay. So that's what you need to look for, is really any errors in communication that will end up kind of like making the project go awry. So you want to keep your eyes on those things. All right, let's talk about one more question. We'll jump back in. Let's see. Oh, great. Facundo asked this question: how do you manage payments as a freelancer? That's a great question. It's a very loaded question, and here's a few of my answers for that. How do you manage payments as a freelancer? Well, first things first, as a freelancer, let's talk about getting paid. You should always get a 50% down payment, right? Always get a 50% deposit for the work that you're going to do. Never less than 50. You want to do more, that's on you. But 50% is the minimum requirement for me to start a project. Okay. So let's say you got $1,000 gig. $500 upfront is what's required for me to start working. It's a good show of faith, and that plays into what I call a milestone payment process, okay, where I set out in the timeline of the projects milestones that we need to hit. That deposit will get you going from milestone 1, which is the kickoff of the project, to the next large milestone, which might be, right, wireframes into initial like concepts, right? It gets you all the way there. Then on that milestone, maybe it's the big, like, you know, rough concepts or something. They need to pay the next 25% to move past that milestone to the next milestone. Are you tracking with me? So you get from A to B with that 50%, then you get from B to C, that next 25%. That way, the only thing that's left to pay when you get from C to D, and D should be, right? It should be complete. The project is done. I'm ready to hand off deliverables to you. The only thing that the client has to pay is 25%. Now, here's what's good about this, right? If the client only needs to pay 25% to receive their deliverables, it's well worth it. They've already made the investment. They're ready to just get their deliverables. They'll pay you the 25%. Likewise, if they stiff you on 25%, you've been paid for 75% of the project and you're not panicking. What's also great about this milestone procedure is that if at any point the client says, I don't like working with you, I don't like the direction that this is headed, you could say, that's fine. We are at a milestone. We can finish there and you have paid me up to the work that I have done. You're still not getting stiffed, right? It incentivizes them to keep paying, to pay for those final deliverables, but it does not hose you where if you say, I'll take a 25% deposit and you pay the rest at the end. Now you're hoping for 75% of the project fee? No. You've put all the power in their hands and it's very easy for them to hose you on the project. So with that being said, 50% deposit, milestones, however you want to do those, break them up into smaller bits, larger bits, whatever it is. But then also you should have a contract for payment with those milestones indicated on them and use whatever platform you like to get paid. ACH bank transfer, PayPal, you know, a check in the mail, whatever you're comfortable with. If it's international, you might have to use some sort of international like payment platform that allows you to do that. It's on you, but use whatever works for you. Hey, those are great questions. We're gonna do more questions in a little bit for our next question and answer time. But for now, let's get back and review a little bit of work, shall we? All right, this is from Abernale Banjari, who is inside the Discord server. He's one of our friends over there at Hey Creative, and he's created a Rideshare app that is super clean, super clean. Sorry, I just peeked the microphone. I was so excited about how clean this is. Just light and bright and white and clean. Iconography, beautiful. Use of color already. This thing is all the things, right? This hero image is all the things for me. Here's the challenge. Design a screen for a Rideshare app. Use the plugin Start to check for contrast accessibility. Very nice. All right. Okay, so let's just zoom in a little bit and see if we can't see more about this beautiful project here. Well, let's talk about it. The use of color is elegant, okay? I don't use that word elegant very much. I'm going to use it right now. It's elegant, right? Obviously, the primary color here is blue, but it's used in such a way with different shades and tones of blue. Everything is kind of on that scale, very monochromatic, very minimalist, very modern, right? And the use of blue is huge, right? It's telling us, look, what the biggest thing you're going to do here is like understand where you're at, search for your destination, and we have light use of blue down here to indicate these as being important elements, right, in our design. Likewise, we're using subtle faded tones and hues of this blue, right, to indicate like another kind of like secondary action possibly. But look, when we do primary action, we do primary action, baby, right? That's a nice big bright blue button that says confirm and pay. This is what we want you to do, okay? So it's just a really nice use of the color. Sometimes people get that really messed up and backwards, like secondary actions, primary actions, tertiary actions. Color's a way to do that. It's really, really nice. The typography, I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about this, except maybe that this iconography down here is black. Maybe that's what you were going for. Maybe it could be a consistency in iconography. I don't know. Style of iconography, size of iconography. For instance, this one is like really thick, really heavy, really dark. This one is a little bit on the thin side. And I think up in our previous one, we also had a thin version, and this blue is different than that blue. So there's maybe a little bit of consistency issue, but not much. I'm really having to be nitpicky to find consistency issues with this thing. So here, let's zoom out so we can see a little bit of the prototype. Love a little interactive prototype, probably done in Adobe XD or maybe Figma, not sure. Okay, love it. Oh, nice. Okay. Apperdale's got some prototyping skills. He's got some skills, yo. I love it. It's really, really clean. I think man, I wish all projects looked this clean. I think this actually, I really do. I encourage you. A project of this caliber could and should be built out into a more in-depth case study. Start thinking through the rest of the interactions, right? The rest of the user journeys and flows. Create another 1 or 2 flows. You have one flow really represented here, like finding a ride, right? What about leaving a tip and input and feedback on your driver? That would be a big one, right? What about, how about like a flow of updating your account in some way, shape, or form? That would be a good one as well. So if you added those 2, this would go from like a really great kind of like challenge to I've thought through more of this process, and it could really, really benefit you, I think, in the future for your career. So that's a great example. Love it, love it, love it. Let's go and find another one. Who else has some work? I'm going to jump back over into Salah has another one. Let's open that one up. Joshin has one right there. Okay, got some more project reviews. Okay, cool. This is a healthcare app by Salah, who's in our chat today. What's up, Salah? We're going to take a look at your work today, my friend. It's a healthcare platform where patients can get the help of an actual doctor, tips about a healthy life, and more just by being part of the community. That's a really beautiful hero image. It's very, very nicely done. Let's just make sure that we're at the proper zoom level here. Love this. Okay, so let's go down project overview. Okay, so I mean, I'm getting the fact that this is not a concept project, but a very real client project that you worked on because you had a role of research, wireframe, user flow, user persona, UI design. Okay, project timeline. I love, side note, everything in this case study is very branded to the actual project itself, right? So he took the time and he made sure that the case study is beautiful, that it's well presented, makes me want to explore it, right? It's also, side note, it's not too much to read, right? It's not too long, don't read. We have a nice mixture of visual and written, which is really, really good. Hey, make sure that if you haven't subscribed yet, you do that. Like, thumbs up, hit that little bell notification icon so you know when these live streams happen. All right, challenges, solutions, always a huge thing for case study, challenges and solutions, all right? Here's a user persona. Love a little user persona stuff. So really showing your UX chops here. Really well done, really beautiful, okay? User flows, also gorgeous, makes sense, need to know that. If I'm a person right now who's going, I need to hire a really solid UI and UX designer for this project, Salah might be my guy because he's kind of crushing the game. He's showing me the skills. Okay, we even got logo variations. Did you do the logo variations as well? Are you one of those weird design unicorns that we all talk about and hate, but secretly want to be like? Oh my gosh, amazing. Okay, maybe you did the logo variations, maybe not. Sophia Pro, beautiful typography choice. Love Sophia Pro. Sophia Pro. Sophia Pro is what I meant to say. The final design, color palette, gorgeous. Usage of it, gorgeous. It's minimal, it's clean, simple homepage, love it. To the point, if I use this application, I would dig it. I'd be very into it, right? Really clean chat interface, right? You're doing chat really well. Nice. Okay. Profile and saved posts. You got this beautiful card-like style throughout. It carries through. Your iconography seems fairly consistent. Usage of color, really, really nice. Like even in here, like you're using contrast through color and size. Gorgeous, love it. The only thing I might say if I was going to critique is like maybe a little bit busy in the cards. Maybe watch that line height. Maybe a thinner typography. Like this feels really thick. Maybe like too much of a thick weight here. Okay, we got a little bit of a demo of how it works. Okay, excellent. Button's a little bit big. It's a little bit massive. You're having fun with the buttons. Maybe that's a good thing though. Maybe that's the style. As long as it carries through, I'm okay with it, but maybe adjust the button size a little bit. Yeah, that same thing with that segmented control. Massive, maybe unnecessary. I didn't see that up in the design, but yeah, see like this. Let's go back in here. This is good. This segmented control, it matches the rest of the size of the buttons, right? And of the input fields, but should it? right, is the question we need to ask. It's really, really big. I like it actually kind of big and chunky, but maybe just a little bit smaller. I'm being really nitpicky, right? The video chat, beautiful, beautiful, love it, amazing. Yeah, just everything, color usage, fun, like audio waves, everything. Just maybe a little chunky on the size of buttons, your input fields, your segmenting controls, and maybe a little thick on the weight of the typography. Thanks for watching. Love it. Appreciate it. Saral, booyakasha. You even put your, let's create something remarkable. I can't talk today. Remarkable. You even put your contact information down below. I think that's great. Great call to action. Hey, big thumbs up. Amazing work from Saral. That's really, really nice stuff. We're going to take a look at Hamza's work right now, and then we're going to jump back and do a few more questions. Hamza has got a Dribbble portfolio for us. So this is more of a portfolio review and less of a specific work review. So Hamza, it says Morocco. That's all it says. Okay. Now here's, again, not to harp on it too much, right? But here is, in my opinion, the difference. It's funny because Dribbble's a great place to land clients, but the difference between a normal account and a pro account is just, it's something mighty, okay? This is my pro account, and then this is a normal account. You get to kind of like, just kind of, I don't know, just add a little bit of flair, like your hire me button is there. You can make some of them big, some of them a little bit smaller. Down here, you can post video in GIF, you can sell stuff. It's just, it's worth the investment in my opinion. This is not a sponsored ad for like Dribbble Pro. I have one. I think it's really worthwhile. It's landed me jobs. I think it could land you jobs as well. So keep that in mind. All right, let's take a look at Hamza's work. This is his newest one. He actually posted inside of the Hey Creative Discord server, which everyone should be a part of. Okay, sorry. Let's go back. Here we go. So this is like some templates kits for maybe social media, Instagram. Yeah, template kits. They're nice. They're beautiful. I don't know what else to say about them. They're really cute. Colors are fun. The style is interesting. I like what you're doing. I don't know what else to say there, right? I'd love to know who you are, though, on this Dribbble profile. Are you a UI designer? Are you a generalist? What are you doing here, right? So I'd like to know that. Here's a task manager for small teams. Looks like a landing page. Okay, more than anything. It's a redesign concept. Okay, fun. It's good. You know, I think it's good. I don't think I think that you're missing a couple elements on a lot of these things that could take. What's your X factor? What's the thing that goes like, ooh, Hamza, love to work with Hamza, right? Like, I think all of it is good. I think the presentation is fine. I just think that you need to show me. And maybe I don't know what I'm thinking. Maybe what I'm thinking right now is that it's just Dribble's great, but I need to, if you're going to do a Dribbble profile, I need to have multiple shots. I need to have multiple shots to really make sense of it. You know, one shot is good. Like I can look at this and go, great, but the descriptions are really small and there's not multiple shots on them. So it just leaves me wanting. I want to know more, right? You know, this is a good one. Movies app. Design concept. It's not bad that all these are concepts. I just need a little bit more in depth. It's like more than just like, this is my design concept. Let's talk stylistically. Okay. I think your style is good. I think you're still learning some of those basic, like maybe some of the basic things that are really important in UI design, spacing, proximity, like related items, right? You know, maybe even just spacing on the buttons. Like, did all of these have to be like the primary, they all look like primary action buttons. Did they have to be? I don't know. What's the size of your search bar? The distance between your search bar and the movies below? Is there defined areas? Those are kind of things I'm just thinking. I'm thinking out loud, right? I'm just thinking out loud. Let's look at another one and kind of do some of the same digging here. Yeah, it's just I think it's a maturity thing that I'm wanting to see, right? Like I'm wanting to see a little bit more like subtle selection of imagery, a little mature art direction, use of typography, just the placement of controls. Like this clear button is like, does it go there? I don't really know. What are you trying to do with it? I'm not sure if it really fits the style, right? Size of iconography, just consistency is really, I think, what we're looking for here. But really nice work. Nice work. I love it. Hamza, good job. You keep crushing it, keep growing, keep learning. You're doing well. Join that. You're in that Hey Creative Discord server. I think one of the best things you can do as a creative, especially when you're learning and growing, is to look for feedback, get critique like what you're getting here, and also inside something like that Discord server, right? I think it can be so beneficial, it's not even funny. So make sure you're doing that. All right, time to jump in. Let's do a few more questions and answers. Rahat says, how do I post mine to be reviewed? You got to post your work inside the Hey Creative Discord server. You're viewing this on YouTube, Rahat, so the chat pinned message is the link to that free Discord server. And you post it inside portfolio reviews or inside of work reviews, okay? That's the way to do that. That's an easy question to answer. All right. Let's see. Josh Sims says, hey, Jesse, do you think as a web designer having a Facebook business page is as relevant these days compared to your Instagram website portfolio? Is it worth using Facebook or not so much? I'm going to be a little bit biased on this one, Josh. I'm not a Facebook fan. I don't put the energy and effort into it because I personally don't see the value. I may not know that secret sauce into using Facebook to land jobs. Now, I think that a portfolio with some really rocking case studies and an amazingly curated Instagram feed, I think those things, in my opinion, bring more value. But again, I might not know the Facebook secret sauce. Somebody out there might need to teach me. Now, do I think that Facebook ads, Instagram ads can actually be a successful thing? I think those could. But I don't think managing a business profile on Facebook is going to give you any sort of edge over somebody. Like if you have just a rockin' portfolio, an amazing Instagram account, and somebody else does, and they have a Facebook page, I'm not really sure. Like maybe the reviews that you might get out of it would be good, but also you could put testimonials on your website. Here's my thing. Anything you can do on Facebook, I think you could be marketing yourself on Instagram and on your personal website. Testimonials, feedback, case studies, social proof, all of those things, right? Building your personal brand. All of that I think can happen on those other platforms. I think they're a little bit more relevant, in my opinion. Not the end all be all in this, in my opinion, though, for the Facebooks. All right. That's a great question, right? Let's see. Yes. Working with, Jalaluddin asked another great question. That is, as a designer, what should I pay attention to when working with a team? That's great. Really, the number one thing that makes teams successful, whether you're talking about a basketball team, a design team, a corporate team, is communication, right? Is setting out good expectations, knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses, communicating as much as you possibly can to keep projects on task. You need to work on your communication pathways and skills. It's one of those soft skills as a creative that's actually not such a soft skill. It's actually a very hard skill. It's a very needed skill, which is your communication skills to work inside of a team. Imagine this. If you're just doing a concept project with yourself, like for yourself, you don't have to communicate at all. If you are a solopreneur or a freelancer working with a client, your communication skills need to be better. If you're working in a massive corporation with a design team of 50, 60, 70, 100, 500, man, your communication skills got to be even better. If you are in a management or design lead position or senior position leading a team, communication skills have to be better than if you're just a member on that team. So communication skills are the number one soft skill, in my opinion, that every creative needs right now. It will help you land jobs. It will help you find clients. It will help you do good work. And it'll help you work in teams better. Great question. Let's see. Shah says, how do you go about selecting an appropriate color palette for a project? I often find myself either playing around and nail it, or I burn myself out. Okay, I'm going to give you my way of finding color palettes for projects, okay? It's kind of a 3-part mix, so stay with me. Number one, exploration. I'm going to spend some time on color palette generators, doing research, exploring the brand, the company, the product, competitive sets and analysis. That's a part of finding an appropriate color palette for me. That's one piece. Number two, okay, is, we say competitive set, but what's happening in the rest of that demographic or market, right? What are other people doing, right? So if we're doing like a sports energy drink, they're using maybe powerful reds and blacks, like that energizing Nike green, like yellows and whatever they're doing. I'm going to go, hey, what are other people doing and why are they doing it? So that's part two, is really focusing there. I'm probably not going to put out an energy drink that's like really light, beautiful, like soft pink, right? And like really, maybe I will. Maybe they want to be very different. That's their brand. But if they want to fit into the market, I'm probably going to do that. So number one, I'm going to explore. Number two, I'm going to align myself with what's out there. Number three, I'm going to find what other people are doing. I'm going to do lots of just pulling inspiration from other designers on Dribbble, Behance. I'm going to look at them. I'm going to, like Austin Kleon says in his book, Steal Like an Artist. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel or be the most original person ever. I'm going to go, what works? What makes sense color theory wise? What are other people doing? Explore, align, steal. That's my answer. Explore, align, and steal. That's it. Okay. So I hope that's a good answer for you. All right. Let's see. Ooh, okay. Rahat has a question about icons. I'm going to answer in a second if I can find that icon pack that I really, really like. So give me a second. I'll see if I can do that. Let's see. Any other good questions? They have a great platform, but the way they treat it is terrible. Live courses, why would I pay? Okay. Adam has a question or a comment or a statement about Dribbble. He says the issue that he has with Dribbble is they don't really care about their platform. He says the way they treat it is terrible. For example, a live course, why would I pay $300 for a course or video that I have access to for only 14 days? Why? I've actually done Dribbble workshops. I've led multiple Dribbble workshops. I love Dribbble. It's not because I've just done Dribbble workshops, but I've actually taken some Dribbble workshops because the workshop experience is super valuable. You get like 6 hours of like workshop time. Like, I mean, I've gone to conferences where like the price ticket for the conference is like $1,000 and the workshop like price ticket is like another $400 or $500 to spend time with whatever person who's leading that workshop, hands-on, other people, somebody instructing, walking around the room, answering. It's huge. Now I know like we live in a realm where you come to live streams like this with me and I'll answer your stuff. I'll look at your work, but the workshop environment I think is well worth it. Like a course, I'm releasing some courses soon and I think it's well worth the premium price tag because you can look around on YouTube. You could look around on Instagram and learn stuff and find stuff. You could use the design, Sharpen, challenge generator, all that kind of stuff. But to have somebody curate a curriculum for you, they believe is going to help you go from A to Z. I think it's really, really worth it, right? So just keep that in mind. I think it is. If you don't, that's fine. To each his own. Everybody has their own opinion of what is good and what's worth it, right? So, all right. Let's see. Oh, Sala asked this question. How do you think we can tell the client about price without freaking him out? And what's the best way to tell him you're the best and good fit for him? Wow, that's a loaded freelance question. Let's try to answer. How can you tell the client that you're the best and not have them freak out about the process or the price tag you're about to lay on it? Well, first and foremost, I was just talking about this with my my design champions group the other day on a live call. I was talking about how you should always get on a call, a phone call or a video call or meet face to face to diagnose their problems. So sometimes people will say, hey, I need a quote from you. I can't give you a quote until I get on a call with you and help diagnose the problem. Okay. So that's the first thing I do is I'm never just going to send a quote by email and say, here it is. I hope you like it. Get back to me. No. I'm going to give that personal touch. Second, when I get on that call, I'm going to ask lots of good questions, right? I'm not going to try to hurry up and sell them. I'm going to say, what is it? What are you looking for? How can I solve that problem? What's your biggest pain point, right? I may not be the right person to solve this problem, but let's keep asking questions, right? I'm going to be a diagnostic technician on the call. I'm going to ask lots of questions. Then after it's done, I might float them a bracket, right? I'm going to float them a price. I'm always going to start with the higher number, and then I'm going to say the lowest number at the bottom. So I might say, hey, after thinking about it, I've done similar projects like this in the range of $15,000 to $30,000, but start with the bigger one, $30,000 to $15,000. Here's why. 30,000 might be scary. 15,000 is less scary, right? But I'm willing to do the work for 15, maybe some way. Maybe that's the number I had in my head. I'm going to float high, right? And then anchor low. I'm going to shoot that across the board. They're going to be less freaked out about this because you've spent time diagnosing and you started to build trust with them and kind of start solving their problem a little bit. You floated them a bracket, right? And then you ask them, right? How does that sound? right? You're gonna put the ball in their court. They go, that sounds crazy. You go, okay, now you diagnose again. Why does it sound crazy? They're like, well, we were hoping to spend $5,000 for this project. Okay. So then you start diagnosing. Well, it sounds like you want, hypothetically speaking, an entire WordPress build, custom design, SEO, content writing. If the marker for success is the lowest possible, is for you to get this done at the lowest possible price, then I'm not going to be your person. I'm not going to be the right person for the job. But if the key performance indicator, the key metric of success for this is how much revenue it can generate for you in 2022, then I might be the person. How much revenue do you think if we reworked your site and made your e-commerce flow easier and, stopped cart abandonment by whatever percentage, how much would that be worth to you? Oh, well, it would increase our revenue by like $100,000 next year. Right. So does 30,000 sound like a lot if I can help you increase your revenue by 100,000? See, now we're problem solving, and I'm never going to sell myself as the lowest possible bid. I'm not going to. I'm going to sell myself as, right, the person who understands you, diagnoses, and brings the most value to you, right? Now we're getting into value-based pricing, right? So you do all this on a call. They say, hey, we like the sound of where you're going, okay? Can you whip us up a proposal? Sure. You get off the call. You spend another day or so, 48 hours, preparing a proposal for them that has a price with itemized, like what you're going to do for them. And then you say, again, you don't just send it to them. You say, I want to get on a call and I want to present this proposal to you. Well, why can't you just send it? Because I don't do that, right? I present proposals. Get on the call, present the proposal, walk them through it, ask them if they have any questions, diagnose again, do the whole thing, right? You're building trust, right? Freelancing is all about establishing trust. So that's how you do it without freaking people out. That's how they see you as the best person for the job, because you're bringing the most value. You're not visual, you're not just a visual thinker, right? Or a graphic designer. You are a business strategist that helps them solve their business problems. It's always about their business and not about your portfolio. Your portfolio should prove what you can do for the business. That's what it should be. All right. Hope that answered your question. All right, let's jump back in and look at one or two more pieces of work. Our live stream is, it's running, it's going. We've been going for a little bit here. And let's see if we can get a few more pieces of work going. I'm going to jump back over to my Hey Creative Discord server. This is from Nova. It's a job profile collective UI design project. Let's go up here to project reviews. And this one is by, we've looked at Jalaluddin's work before, and we love Jalaluddin's work. So I'm going to look at Joydeep Roni over here. We got two more, and then we are probably out for the day. This is, let's see, from Shashank Singh, and it's a mobile app and website design. Okay, we're using some of the Undraw illustrations. Maybe those are Undraw, those aren't Undraw. Maybe that's the Pablo Stanley Humans illustrations. Man, oh man, do I have an eye for illustrations? Okay, so team of developers believe shaping the world home. Okay, yes. Here, so I'm always like a TLDR, too long don't read kind of person. This is not enough. I don't know what this is. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish at all, okay? So just keep that in mind. You do need to tell me what it is you're doing. I'm going to say right away, one of the things that I'm not a big fan of here is just the usage of typography. I think that this could be improved. I think you could work on this, massage this, and hone this a little bit more, okay? First off, in a mobile application, I'm going to guess that that's like 9 pixels or 10 pixels, which is too small. It's too small for something I'm supposed to read. Secondly, your line height is too tight. Your contrast between size and weight of headlines and body copy there's not enough contrast there. Also, you've center aligned a large block of text that really probably should just be left aligned, if I'm going to be honest. When in doubt, left align it out, okay? So yeah, so I did some videos on typographic scale, creating contrast, rhythm, all that kind of stuff. Typography, look for those on my channel. Again, see how this just feels like too tight, too small, hard to read. Legibility, readability, very, very important. You're going to need to work on that, I think. Okay, we got a little prototype action happening here. Let's go full screen in this little Vimeo thing. Okay, this is nice. I like it. I'm into it. Yeah, okay. See, again, when I'm looking at it, your tap points, your controls, way too small. Your text, way too cramped. I need some white space. I need some breathing room. You know, I need a little bit of that because it's just, the whole thing feels very, and stay with me, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm trying to be constructive and helpful to you. It feels very 1999. You know what I'm saying? Or like 2009. Everything's a little bit cramped. Your button sizes are good. Input field's okay. Just space. Give me some space. Also back there, boy, that went really fast. Primary, secondary kind of thing here. I mean, there's one of them's got to be primary, secondary. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe they're both primary. But again, that text, absolutely inappropriately small. Unbelievably small, never going to work. It's small, thin, and light. That is a horrible accessibility problem that you have there. Okay, so you got to fix that up a little bit. I think the web app is probably going to suffer from similar issues, just crampedness, tightness, even that. Look, like this is a web application. That's got to be like 8 pixel text. It's just too small. Never less than 12 or 14 for like body copy. Like I prefer something more like 14 or 16. If you're going to do small tags, small things, those can be 12-ish, 14-ish. You get down to the 10 realm, nobody's reading it, my friend. But really nice work, Shashank. I loved it. Just think about usability, readability, legibility, all the other illities, okay? This is joydeeproni.com. Good morning. Let's design better solutions together. This is a full-blown website. All right. It's the first one of these today. Okay, you are, looks like, I always say, in a portfolio, personal portfolio, you need some sort of value statement immediately. I'm Joy. I'm a UI UX designer. Actively looking for work, and I love coffee or pizza. So in that statement, it's who you are, what you do, what you're looking for, right? And a little fun something about you so I can start to relate to you. Also, I like an image there. Doesn't have to be, but I prefer an image there, okay? Content management system for a streaming platform. Let's go back. Can I see that? Again, tiny little call to action link. Give me something bigger so I can link onto it. Transition, smooth, cool, awesome. This takes me to a Medium post, which I don't mind. If you're going to case study on Medium, okay, I'm not opposed to it. I don't love it, but I'm not opposed to it. Wow, look at that loader. That thing is spicy. Let's just go down here and see what else we got. I'm clicking on things. It's not taking me, right? Oh gosh, I clicked too many times. Okay, this one keeps us on the website, so we'll stay with this one. Simplified delivery process for truck drivers, Australian client. Listen, I'm by no means a Photoshop master. I know just enough Photoshop to get myself in trouble. That's not the greatest mock-up. Okay, here's why that's not the greatest mock-up. It's everything about it is distracting. And it's obvious that it's like a photoshopped mock-up, right? Pick something a little simpler, a little cleaner. This phone is just so busy. I'm talking art direction now. This phone case is so busy. This looks obviously like warped and dropped in there. This weird blur back there. Everything about it is just kind of, it feels wrong. This is good. I like this. But I wish the rest of it, ooh, that color contrast, brutal. You know, I just wish I could get a little bit more branding and consistency throughout your case studies. It's not bad, but I need you to take it to that next level. We had looked previously at some other case studies that were pretty rocking. I'm going to need that level of presentation there, okay? But I think your website is good. Here's what I would say. If your website is too hard for you to manage and maintain, then maybe really start focusing on a Behance profile for now, right? I know custom design and custom web development can be really, really tricky. Maybe this is on like a WordPress thing. It's hard to hack that and customize it and do what you want. Maybe you might want to consider moving over to Webflow so you can customize it a little bit more. Maybe you want to just move to a Behance thing. I don't know. It's up to you. But I think if you can't get that fine-grained control on your website, then maybe put your case studies over on Behance where you can just design something, smack them up as static images, text in between. You know, but I think your work is good. I think it still has some maturing to go, right? I don't think that's unfair to say, or I don't even think that's mean. We're all growing. We're all maturing. But I think yours right now, it needs to mature a little bit more away from that junior designer kind of level of work right now. So things need to be a little bit more subtle, a little bit more sleek, better use of color, typography, size. reading through the human interface guidelines from Apple, Google's material guidelines, knowing the medium you're designing for, I would say. All right, that's, I think, it for portfolio and work reviews today. I am going to answer one or two more questions, and then we're going to be good. We're going to be done for the day. So let's do a few more questions. But before we do that, if you want to not just have this be a monologue and asking questions through chat, but maybe do something like a live video hangout with me and the Design Champion crew, you can go to learn.jesseshowalter.com/members. Link is down in the description. Become a member, become a Design Champion. Join me next Friday in the live video hangout. I'll be there answering your questions, doing live role play as if I'm your client and you're the designer, or vice versa, diagnosing your problems, helping you land more clients, all that kind of stuff. So with that being said, let's answer a few more questions and then we will get out of here for the day. All right. Facundo says, PayPal charges excessive fees. Have you tried Skrill or Revolut? No, I haven't. I actually, like I said, I use Honeybook to process a lot of my payments, which is a pretty small processing fee. Or best case scenario, I actually, the majority of the time I get ACH bank transfer, which is direct wire. And that's the best way, right? You just got to provide them your banking details and get them to ACH bank transfer it. Love that process. Zero taken out of it. I don't do PayPal for stuff like that. Yeah, Brent says you could use Stripe, another great payment processing. Also, I believe they do international, so that's a good one. Okay. Yep. Great day. I'm looking and trying to find stuff. Chris, do or other Dribbble. That's the one thing I hate is the limited time to review or go back to the course. I see it. Yeah, Adam, your problem was the limited amount of time. It's true. I get it. Yeah. It'd be nice if you always had access to it forever and ever and ever, I suppose. That'd be good. But I feel like, 6 hours is a lot. Are you really going to go back and watch like 6 hours? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Depends on who you are. Yes. Okay. Any more questions before we go? Yeah. Oh, Adam says, Jesse, I'd like to know if you can recommend me a good wireframe add-on pack, either paid or free. I've been through a lot of them in Figma and I can't find one that fits me. My friend Ran Segal, who is Flux on YouTube, he actually just released a video where they purchased a company that is like the makers of one of the biggest like wireframing platforms. So they just, where is that? Yep, launch a new course. Anyways, go check out Flux's channel. He just did a video about it. I forget the name of it. I've never used it, but it's apparently really, really good, really, really big. I actually have been thinking about that as well, about using a wireframing like template or like pack, basically. It's called Platforma. Here it is. I found it for you. See if we can load this up. But yeah, Rand goes to the whole thing about how they've just purchased Platforma, their company Flux, and they're including it as part of Flux Academy. But it's only for Sketch is the thing. So I don't know, maybe Rand will take it to the next level and bring it into Figma or Adobe XD as well. But I could, I don't know. It looks like a really comprehensive wireframing platform, which I super love. I think is great. And I think honestly, like if you get hired to do like a marketing website, anywhere between 5 and 10 grand, you probably should just be using like something like a wireframing kit. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. They probably don't need something super custom. They just need it laid out with their content in it, and you can make some tweaks here or there. I think that personally. Okay, so I think a kit could be good. Check out Platforma. Yeah, cool. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna get my. It's also available in Figma now. Really? Okay, awesome. Well, I might buy it then right now because I'm into it. I'm into it. Okay. Yeah, for Adobe Figma and Sketch, Platforma. Huh? Okay. I'll check it out. I'm going to buy it probably, but I'm going to buy it today. Probably. I'm that excited about it. And I want to support Ran because I love Ran. He's like he's my spirit animal. Ran Segal. You're my spirit animal. I love you. Okay. Let's see. Maha asks, how can you submit your portfolio for review? You could do that by joining the Hey Creative Discord server. The link is pinned in the YouTube chat. Join that for free. Put it in the portfolio and work review section, and maybe we'll see it on the next one. Okay. Yeah, there's a tab. You know what? Hey, usability issue though. Look, it says available for Sketch. Figma, Adobe XD. Did anybody else miss that? I was so busy looking at this, I didn't know. They should have it here. It should say available for Sketch, Adobe XD, Figma, all of that stuff here. I'm buying this one. I'm buying this one right now. Maybe I'll buy the Adobe XD one too. I like both. And also, couldn't I just buy a pack for it all? I just went, blah. Couldn't I buy like the pack for all of it? I would do that too. Okay. Yeah, sorry. All right, last question from Rocket. What factors to choose to export Figma files for Behance at best quality? I actually don't know. I don't have a good opinion on that. So I'm not going to answer that question, right? What factors to choose to export Figma files for Behance? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe I'll do a little research on that, right? Okay, cool. Brent said, "Yep, easy upsell." Yeah, I'm not trying to sell it. I'm not like I don't have like some sort of deal with Rand. I've never bought it, and I think I'm going to buy it now. So, okay, cool. Yep. Have you ever worked for a game company? Shaw says no, but I'd like to. It'd be a lot of fun. Could be very, very fun. All right. Well, I think that's it for the day. Unless you have any last minute questions come in. Yes, this is the last question from Maha. Okay. Can you offer some advice for graphic designers transitioning to UI and UX design? That's great. Some advice for graphic designers transitioning from graphic design to UI UX design. Absolutely. I made that transition actually. Here's a few things I would say. Number one, if you're transitioning from graphic design to UI and UX, you may not have spent a lot of time on the UX side and the research side of things, right? You may have done some competitive sets and looked around to find visual inspiration, but now you need to do some research for the metrics of it. You need to figure out what it looks like to research the core demographic, the user, what their user journey might look like. So the UX side of things is probably going to be the more difficult because it's more psychology and research based. Okay. Now, it's so different if you're going to be a full-blown UX designer, like only a UX designer. But if you're going to be what we call a UI UX designer, if you've ever done any web design, you've probably done a little bit of this, right? You have to research and find some core demographic, usability stuff. You have to do all that kind of stuff. Try to start working metrics and information actually into your process. That's one thing I would say. Number two, I would say start reading all the guidelines that you can, okay? So like, again, iOS human interface design guidelines, Google material design guidelines, download packs of them, download the starting kits, rework things, tear them apart, put them back together. That's how my friend Joel Buchelman used to do it. So he would just download these free like templates from Apple and from Google, tear them apart, put them back together. You're going to need to learn a tool that's probably works better for UI UX design, Sketch, Figma, Adobe XD, whichever one works for you. I think you're also going to want to just download or look at a lot of UI UX design and recreate, because you're going to have to start really, one of the things that goes hand in hand with UI and UX design if you're working is component creation, pattern libraries, design systems, wireframes, like thinking through like information architecture. Those things might be different from graphic design, right? So it's going to be a lot of studying, a lot of research, a lot of pulling things down, tearing them apart, putting them back together, a lot of trial and error, watching a lot of stuff, maybe buy a course, right? Hint, hint, somebody might have a course coming out soon about product design. You might want to jump on that one. That might be talked about pretty soon. Just letting you know in the next few weeks, maybe a month or so. Okay, that's all I have to say about that one. So I hope that helps you as you transition from graphic design over to UI and UX. Hey, thank you everybody for being a part. Make sure that if you haven't yet, that you like and subscribe, hit that little bell notification icon so you know when another live stream like this one goes up. Make sure you join the Hey Creative Discord server. And again, if you're interested in becoming a member, become a member. Jump over and become a member. You might really, really enjoy it. I also recently just started doing coaching calls. So if maybe you don't want to become a member, but you just want a one-off coaching call experience, I do 30 and 60-minute coaching sessions. You can find all that information at learn.jesseshowalter.com. I'd love to help you guys out in any way, shape, or form. I hope you're having an amazing week. I hope you're designing amazing things. Hope you're making amazing things. And I hope you're crushing the game in all that you do. So we'll see you in the next one. Take care and join me for the next live stream. See ya.